Hey everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault 2, and we're back out here in the garage for another first impressions video. I literally just rolled into the garage from the range. I did take two guns to try to film content with this afternoon, but I was only successful with one. Not because the guns malfunctioned, but because there were just people there making a bunch of noise. But the one that I was able to film in its entirety for the range report was this one. And this is a gun that I have honestly been putting off reviewing for a while because in general, I am not a huge fan of putting full-powered rifle cartridges into small pistols or short-barreled rifles. To me, they're just obnoxious. I don't understand the attraction that people have with very loud firearms with big fireballs. They're just not cool to me, but I understand that maybe like those bug zappers, that some people are like the insects that are just attracted to that. They just want the light and the show, and they go and get zapped. But that is what this gun is for me. I'm like, no, I don't want to shoot this. It's not going to be any fun. But anyway, I took it to the range because it's kind of on the list. This one is on loan to the channel from my friend Jack number 2, the second Jack that has lent guns to the channel. And so I want to thank him, obviously, for filling out the paperwork, allowing me to borrow this really cool SBR. So we took it to the range today, and this is, by the way, a PTR 91, but I believe this particular receiver started out as a Vector V51. Now, I had to go do some research, but I think Vector was bought by PTR, because the reason I say it was a Vector Arms is on this side, you can see what I think was the original maker's or manufacturer's mark on this side. And it says Vector Arms, and it says V51, which is like the short-barreled version of the Hk51. So those would have had like 20-inch barrels. This one has like a 9-inch barrel. But then it's stamped over PTR 91. And on this side, we have all of the proper markings from PTR. It says PTR 91, where it was made, Farmington, Connecticut, caliber .308. So not really sure about the history of this receiver, but obviously the gun was built by PTR. We do have a PTR handguard out here. And it does show all of the parts that I'm used to seeing on PTRs, like the way that they do the little plug in the front of the cocking tube, and the way that their welds look. Not saying they're bad, they're just not as nice as HK, but it's definitely a PTR gun. All right, and I think they put the final touches on this thing. So, how did it shoot? Well, I was expecting a pretty obnoxious shooting experience. And overall, and of course, let me safety check it there. So we are empty, no magazine in it. Luckily, I had a few of these old HK mags, which work great in this gun. And I was expecting, as I said, an obnoxious shooting experience. And actually, it wasn't too bad. It was one of those things where before I even turned on the camera, I think I loaded the magazine with like 2 or 3 rounds just to make sure the gun, of course, worked. But also, I wanted to know what to expect when it came to the fireball and the concussion. And overall, it actually wasn't that bad of an experience. On the obnoxious scale, it's only about a 7 out of 10, where I was kind of expecting a 9 or a 10 out of 10. So it wasn't too bad. The recoil was okay. Yeah, the roller delayed system does a pretty good job. Not as bad as other 308 rifles. Not like an AR-10. But, so it was actually accurate. I was able to get through a few magazines with it. It is a little bit on the jumpy side, which is typical of this design. So when I did the mag dump, it's not that great of a group, a little bit hard to keep on target. You're just like, hold it down, and not trying to let the muzzle rise on you. And when I did the quick magazine change, because this is one of those HK legacy gun designs, it doesn't have like a typical way of changing the magazine out. You do have a button on this side, but there is like almost no way you're going to reach that button with your finger, your shooting finger, like you would on an AR-15. So you want to use the paddle mag release. But also, this gun does not lock open after the last round. So you go bang, 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 click. Then you're supposed to lock it open, and because it's a 308, we got this lever you got to fight with up at the front. Then pull the magazine out, put a new one in, and then you first do the HK slap, and you're back in business. So it's not as quick as other modern sporting rifles. I think when I did my quick magazine change, I made a mistake. The mistake I made was, because I'm just so used to, you know, AR-15s, AR-10s, that kind of stuff, I went bang, 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 click, and my instinct was to pull the magazine out. So I pulled the mag out, then I locked the gun open. So I kind of did it in a reverse order. I don't think it's necessarily that bad of a thing. And then we proceeded on to the rest of the experience. So I did that. It's just a different manual of arms to get used to. And of course, it's a slow magazine reload. What else? But overall, accuracy was good. But then I need to talk about the build of this gun, okay? And I mentioned earlier that PTR just doesn't build these guns like HK. So even though at the range for me it shot well and was accurate, and I actually think the reason for that is this red dot, okay? The claw mount stayed on the rifle like it's supposed to, but as I've mentioned, I've always felt that these receivers are a little bit out of spec. When it comes to these claw mounts, I look at them and I'm like, man, they are barely holding on like little fingers. I don't think these receivers are the same dimensions as HK receivers. They seem to be a little bit smaller, but this one stayed on. But then I was thinking to myself during the range report and when I'm filming the range footage, like, okay, I'm using the red dot. Why don't I try to use the iron sights? So this mount has a little hole through the mount that you can use the little drum sight in the back. I'm looking through it and I realized, oh my gosh, that front sight tower is on a little bit crooked. Yeah, it is definitely canted to one side. And yeah, HK would not do that. So the receiver's out of spec. The front sight is canted. And, oh yeah, the pistol grip on this lower, which by the way, you can replace this with like other HK G3 stuff, but it's a little bit loose. I did tighten down the screw here on the side, but it's still loose. And the PTR handguard is also loose. Now, I tightened all the screws here in the front. I adjusted it, pulled it back, but it doesn't seem to be 100% in spec either. And that's just what I've discovered with all these PTR guns. Like, I don't know if I can show you here, but here we go. See if I can show you how it moves a little bit. It's moving. Yeah, there it goes a little bit. But that's after I tightened everything down. But there's definitely some play in there. Not enough where I'm worried that it's going to come off during shooting, but I don't like it. So it just kind of feels like an old jalopy that you're driving down the road in and you just know it's going to break down. But it didn't. It ran fine. It's just the tolerances on this gun are loose. I think the receiver's a little bit out of spec. But it shot consistently, and man, when this thing ejects, it ejects to like the 1 o'clock position, like 20 feet in front of me. That was weird too. But anyway, that was my experience with it. It was actually a good experience. It was better than I was expecting it would be. It worked, accurate, lower recoil, not as obnoxious. The fireball wasn't too bad. It was loud. But overall, it was a pretty good experience. So I really got to sit down, look at the range footage, and kind of figure out how I'm going to rate this and what I'm going to talk about. Because it has a disconnect between the build quality of this gun and the performance of the gun. The performance of the gun was great. I would probably give it 4.5 stars out of 5, only deducting points for how obnoxious it is. The build quality of this gun, I would only say is about a 2 out of 5. It's just not in spec. The welds don't look as nice. I don't know. It doesn't exude confidence. You got parts that are loose, and they're even made by the same company that made the gun. So I don't know. It just doesn't feel like a quality firearm. But it works and it was accurate. And there was a little bit of a fun factor in there for me, but still, it's a 308 and too small of a package. So that was my experience with this. So if any of you guys have any experiences with PTR and the 91, which I think they're mainly known for, and anything this small, like a Hk51 clone or copy, tell me what you think. So tell me about the build quality PTR, if you own one, ever shot one, and what do you think about 308 in such a small little package? So that was my experience with that. The other gun I took to the range is I took one of those 2011s that we talked about yesterday in my previous video. I took the Hayes Customs to the range. I thought that'd be a good one to start with. I've shot them in the past, at least from their company, and it was a great gun. So I was like, okay, this is going to be an easy one to film. So I knew this one would clear the range because it was so loud, but luckily there wasn't anybody there. But then when I started to set up for the pistol, some people came in, a family came in. I knew they weren't going to be there very long. And typically when I'm shooting unsuppressed, it's not that big of a deal, especially if people are quiet. But they had 3 lanes being used, and their targets were just going in and out. They'd shoot like 10 rounds, bring the target in. So it would be a distraction as I'm trying to film and trying to capture footage for the range report when people are just, targets are just going in and out, in and out. It's like, just set your target and just leave it. So I was like, okay, so I'll wait. And they were there for about 15, 20 minutes. So I just kind of hang back and I'm waiting for them to get done. I'm, using my phone, checking the internet, checking my email, whatever, checking YouTube comments or something. And they start packing up. And then as soon as they're coming right off the lane, there were some other people that came in and had to set up right in the next lane next to me. And they were some bros, if you know what I'm talking about. Guys that are just there, and they're talking all loud, and oh yeah, I'm going to show you about my guns. Like, yeah, this isn't going to work right now. And that is a reason why I normally go late at night when nobody is there. I'm an introvert, but also I don't have all the distractions. But I was able to get this one done, and I will go back some night soon, maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow night, go back to the range and film the Hayes Customs, and that might give me an opportunity to take another pistol because I'll already be there setting up for that one. I'll just go and film another one. So anyway, I got one done, and this was it. So a little bit different experience than I was expecting. So anyway, just wanted to give you a quick first impressions video on this particular firearm that I was not looking forward to reviewing, but I got it done and I was pleasantly surprised. So thank you, Jack, for helping me create this content. And your gun was not as obnoxious as I thought it would be. So anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. And I was thinking there was one other thing I wanted to talk about. What was it? Oh yeah. Something kind of funny is when I made my little 2011 video yesterday where I talked about upcoming projects. I mentioned that some people don't like my 2011 videos because they just, it's not that I think they don't like me, they just don't think I'm worthy of reviewing them, or I review them completely wrong. And in yesterday's video, I don't think I had any information in that video that was bad or wrong, or I stated it as fact, just saying stuff like, I need to look this up or whatever. And I had like 3 or 4 people, once again, be like, you need to go do your research. You don't know anything about these guns. There was one guy that was nice. He's like, I like you, I like your content, but you need to go do more research. That's one of those phrases. I need to have like a list of things. I hate it when people say. I think I've mentioned them before in some of my videos. One of them is, go watch this person. Don't tell me to go watch another reviewer because they're more knowledgeable than me or they're better. Do not do that. Do not link to them. Do not say, because I don't watch a lot of gun YouTube anyway. Don't do that. I'm not here to copy anyone, clone anyone. I'm here to do my own thing. Do not tell me that. Do not tell me I need to go get more training. Ain't doing that either, because I'm not one of these trainer worshipers, which I kind of believe that there is this problem in the gun world that you have to go get training from a very specific person in a certain way. They are gods, and you must worship them because of what they say. And then it's funny because these people that come up with these schools, these classes, these shooting techniques. It's funny, I've been in the gun world long enough to see the trends change. I remember that the people that were the big trainers and what they told you to do 10 years ago, 15 years ago, are now completely different than what they do now. So it doesn't mean that they have any special knowledge. I always kind of bring up the funny one. When I first got into guns, I don't know, about 2010, 2009, one of the big fads that everybody did and all the trainers told you to do, if you're shooting pistols, you're shooting boom, 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 boom. You bring the pistol in. Everybody did this at the range. Everybody did this in every video. Even if they're just like reviewing a gun, they'd shoot the gun and they just nobody does that anymore. It's all these things. So don't tell me to go get more training. I don't care, because I'm an average gun guy. I'm not here to get great. I'm not here to be a tactician, a competition shooter. I want to do my own thing. And as I mentioned in many videos in the past, my career field in music, all I do is compete. Everything is a damn competition. And I want to do something where I'm not competing. I'm not having to take classes. I have a doctorate degree. I about said a bad word. I have a doctorate degree. I'm tired of taking classes. I'm tired of being told someone else is better than you. Someone else is this. I know people are better than me. I'm tired of that crap. So I'm at the stage in my life, I just want to do what I'm going to do. I don't want to learn from anybody, okay? Unless I seek it out, meaning I pay attention. Don't come to me and tell me I need to learn this, go train this, go take this class. Don't do it. It offends me, pisses me off. I've done enough school in my life. Don't want to do any more. And I want to explore firearms on my own. And that's it. Okay, I know. That's kind of a ranty thing. I'm sorry. So what I say, don't tell me to go get more training. Don't tell me to go watch somebody else on YouTube. Don't tell me to go do my own research. What do you think I do for every video? Am I going to get everything right? Hell no. I'm not going to get everything right. I will say wrong things, stupid things, you name it. I will do it. But that is part of the experience for me as much as it is for you. I learned from my own mistakes and can admit my own mistakes. But sometimes I think people, and I've seen this in many disciplines and many different fields, there's a lot of people that don't know what they don't know. They think they know it. Okay, and the gun world is full of this. That's another bad word. The gun world is full of this stuff where, because somebody saw one of their YouTube gun heroes say something, that's the way it is forever. And then you come in to find out they were completely wrong. And then you have this entire legion of people espousing this wrong information. I do not want anybody ever to look at me like that. Please, never look at me as some expert. Never use me as a reference for anything gun related. Just enjoy me. Take anything I say with a grain of salt. Enjoy it for what it is. And go do your own research. Go do your own thing. But never say, well, I saw this on the Texas gun. No, please don't say that. Because I hate it when people do that with other content creators. Please don't do it with me, okay? I'm just here to document my experience and journey through the firearms world. So anyway, yeah, and then don't tell me to go do more research. It's just like taking nails on a chalkboard, just, and a couple of those people I banned, and a couple of them I just deleted the comment, because otherwise, if it sits there, no matter how I responded to the comment, I didn't ban them, or not everybody. It was going to be, I was going to say something I'd probably regret. So I wanted to remove that temptation. So if the comment didn't rise to where they were being snarky, it just got removed. But if they were absolute a-holes, they got banned. And I never respond to any of those comments. What else do I hate that people comment on? Yeah, don't use the F word, not the 4-letter F word, not F-U, not that one. The FUD word. Don't use that one. Don't do it. Don't do it. Okay? I hate that word. It's like the people throw that word around as a pejorative and like the N word in the gun community just because you don't like somebody. There are people in the gun world that I don't like, but I would not use that word to describe them. And I don't like how that word has turned into what it is today. So anyway, I'm sure there's other lists of things, but I really should start writing them down as I remember them. and make a video on it of the things not to say in the comment section of the Texas Gun Vault, because it will just drive me nuts. But part of me though, I'll tell you a fun story, because obviously there are these people that absolutely hate it when I make 2011 videos because they say I get it wrong, I don't know what I'm doing, I'm a terrible shot, I'm not worthy of reviewing that pistol because I'm not a competition shooter, that whole thing. I once saw this funny video. It was a video of a guy where he's sitting on like his bed or whatever, and he has like 6 different laptops laying out, and he's joking about how he lives off of making other people frustrated. So he'll go and intentionally write wrong information in comment sections of videos just to get people pissed off. I kind of want to make a 2011 video and intentionally get all the information wrong and act like it's right just to piss all those people off. Just to have them just go, bah, in the comment section. I just want to do that so much. Oh, God, I want to do that so much. And I think only the true people that follow me would know what the heck that was all about. But anyway, that's it. First impressions, PTR 91 with a 9-inch barrel or so. So it's like a Hk51 clone. Loud and obnoxious, but not too bad. Better shooting experience than I thought it would be. And the build quality has disappointed me. So anyway, if you watch to the end of this video, the end of the word of the day that you need to use in the comment is obnoxious. Obnoxious, because this gun is obnoxious. Those commenters that bother me are obnoxious. The people at the gun range today were obnoxious. And I am probably obnoxious to many of you. So, you know the word, say it in the comment section so I know you watched to the end, to know that you are a true vault dweller. So thank you for joining me here in the garage. Thanks for hearing me talk about guns and share my experiences, thoughts, and opinions. So, as always, thanks for watching.